Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Winter Solstice with Luna and the Druid. On the
Hello,
screen next to
everyone.
me, you see Luna.
Hi. So
Hello.
lovely to see
Hi.
you and have you today.
Yes, good to see you again after a
Yeah,
week.
and I have a pleasure to host this locations with Jan Tetero, the Druid.
And today, we're pretty close. We're the 18th now. We're just 3 days away from the Winter Solstice. And we're going to discuss that in the show today. See what you can do for yourself. Luna, you can give some advices on how to celebrate it. And let's pull some cards. We could do a full tarot reading for the situation we're in now, in general, as people, challenges, influences, the past, and what the new year will bring for all of us.
That's a really good idea. I actually prepared some cards myself today with a message for this winter solstice and the Christmas time. So it'll be
Oh,
interesting. It'll be fun.
fabulous, fabulous. Yeah, the winter solstice for druids and pagans. Um, it's a very important time. It has been for many, many, many years, and of course in Ireland, we find the biggest proof of that in Newgrange. It's a 5,000-year-old monument. It's huge, and it's purposely built to to be visible on the winter solstice. When the sun goes up on the 20th, the 21st, and the 22nd, and the sun is visible and rises in the east, in the southeast, then it shines right into the pyramid shaped cairn of Newgrange. Newgrange is older than the pyramids, and if the people 5,000 years ago built a structure like that, uh, as huge and as monumental and still waterproof after 5,000 years in Ireland. Can you imagine? It must have been,
That's impressive.
yeah, it must have been so important for them. It must have been so important for them um, that they did it, that they allowed the work, many years of work, and the achievements like finding the right days and the right angle to build the structure so the light comes in. It's it would still be a hard job to do it today, engineering wise. So yeah, it's a big thing. It's really a big thing.
Yeah, it is fascinating for me because we know these days that winter solstice, that's the shortest day and the longest night. Uh, but we have access to information, and what fascinates me is the ancient knowledge of people who were so connected with the nature that they knew its cycle and they were living their lives around those cycles. Mm, and I believe that's how we should be living our lives as well. And I would like to ask you how Druids celebrate winter solstice and why do we talk about celebration? Why is it so important mm, for you, for us, for people who are close to nature?
Yes, it's a question we get. I get asked many times. Actually, a few years ago, I had uh, the Irish Times calling me for uh, a Saturday edition, how to celebrate the winter solstice. so uh,
Ah,
uh, so it's quite well known. Yeah, I show it again. It's quite well known that the winter solstice is kind of related to Druidry, and that's kind of normal because we celebrate the wheel of the year. I know you celebrate the 13 moons, which is very important too, but we as Druids we have the calendar, the wheel of the year. Um, I can show a small image of it. I'm going to block you out for a second.
Go for it.
Here's the Celtic Year by Sean Fitzgerald, and you can see that the big feasts, Samhain, Imbolc, Bealtaine, and Lunasa are mentioned there, but there in between we have the winter solstice, the spring equinox, the summer solstice, and the autumn equinox, and so this whole image is built around the 8 festivals Druids celebrate through the year. And why is this the winter solstice important? The big importance of the winter solstice, of course, is that as we noticed, the days are getting shorter, shorter, shorter. The shortest day, the longest nights. And after the winter solstice, the days are getting longer again. So there's a solstice actually means stand still. So the sun stands still, doesn't really doesn't really the days don't go longer and shorter for these 3 days. So it comes down and the days get shorter and the sun stands still and the days get longer again. So the sun wins again, and we celebrate it in a way when we do, for instance, a druidic ritual with many people. We often do both in the winter and the summer solstice the battle between holly and oak. And holly, of course,
Tell me
being an evergreen, and can never lose. But in winter and the winter solstice, the battle is actually won by the oak. Holly goes to rest, and oak starts starts living again after a period of death, a period of silence. In spring, the leaves are coming back, and at the summer solstice, the oak is in full leaf again. And then the battle starts again, and then Holly wounds the oak, and slowly the leaves are falling. And that's a cycle that repeats itself every year, the battle between Holly and oak. And so we
mm,
celebrated. We celebrated at Newgrange this year. Fortunately, on big requests, the the sunrise at Newgrange will be live streamed by the Office of Public Works. So I might put the link to it in the comments. So it will be live streamed again the 21st at 8:30 or something, or 8:20 when the sun comes up. You can see it live, and when the sun hits the chamber, there will be cameras in the chamber, and you can see the effect of the light going into this deep, deep dungeon-like chamber of Newgrange, and really experience the spiritual effect and the spiritual importance of the return of the light.
that's very interesting. Would you call
Yeah,
it a rebirth then? A rebirth of light?
it's a cycle. It's a cycle. We uh, in the Druid tradition and the Druid teachings, we work with the cycles. The shortest cycle, of course, being the day, and the day is similar. And then we have the lunar cycles, the moons, and the seasons. But then we have the year, which is also a cycle of growth, birth, growth, decay, death, and rebirth, um, as the day. And of course, our life is the same. We get born, we grow, we we decay, we go older and wiser, die again, and be reborn again. So, and there are bigger cycles. We know even astrological cycles of 26,000 years that the Mayans already knew of. So there are cycles that go beyond our comprehension, but we can understand the day, the moons, the months, the years, and life cyclical. And and then you see um, that, for instance, when we're at the winter solstice, it's the moment of rebirth, closing off a year, like we already did a bit at Samhain. Then we had the time between time, and now really next Wednesday morning as the sun comes up, there's the rebirth.
That's lovely.
And yeah,
Um, I would like to ask you more about the Druid traditions, if I can call it traditions. What
yeah.
you, as a Druid, will focus on the next few days? Are there any rituals you're doing? Is there any special preparation uh,
Yeah.
needed in order to celebrate in a Druid way?
Yeah, well, like non-Druid people, we like to decorate our house for the occasion. You can do it, of course, with a Christmas tree and Christmas decorations, but what we also do is make a seasonal altar, especially devotional place where you can sit and meditate. Maybe put some cards, put some imagery, put some statues representing the birth of life, the rebirth. Uh, do a branch of holly or some holly branches, even if you can find it, an oak branch with the last brown leaves on it. Uh, we also have we were fortunate to get some mistletoe, so we put that there, and some lights and candles, incense, frankincense, and whatever feels right. You sit there, and so it's Christmas decoration, but then in a pagan way, similar as normal. And then, of course, in the night of the solstice, in the homes, we dim the lights and we meditate in the darkness. We sit in the darkness, maybe do some drumming, and then we go silent. And then a small candle is lit. That's the first light. And with that small candle, we spread the light. So we light with that small candle some more lights, and until the room is brightly lit again. And so there's this idea of darkness followed by light. And it has been celebrated so many times. There is a very nice story from the Viking Age, from the Normans. Uh, of course, they've been in Ireland as well, so it's good to talk about it. That there's a big wolf called Fenrir, and he broke loose in late summer in the autumn equinox. He broke loose, and since then he's eating of the daylight every day a bit more. And then Odin, the Allfather, goes on a wild hunt with the Valkyries and Thor and Loki and Heimdall, and they all go on a chase to catch the wolf. And on the 21st, every year again of December, they catch him, they cage him, and uh, and the daylight can grow again, can return again. So there's many traditions we do, and you can. So you like what we did the last weeks in our show. We focusing on the hermit, focusing on going back a bit, focusing on maybe consume a little less of the news that's not directly affecting us. That there's so much going on, wars and climate change and terrorist stuff. And stay away from it a while. Focus on yourself. Go inward, and there's nothing wrong with that. Be a bit selfish in a good way, because when you take good care of yourself and you
That's
are good,
nourishment.
that's
Exactly.
nourishment, and that's also a precondition to be able to take care of the others,
Oh,
to be of
absolutely. I agree
service.
with every single word.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so it's significant. We slow down and around the solstice, and from that time on, we start up again. And
A
what would you
question
say?
for you. Yes, because I'm very curious. Because you mentioned that it's a good time to go within, connect with the darkness. So I want to ask you about the importance of being in with other people during that process. Because you mentioned people come together, and in many traditions, it's not just Druidism, but in traditions, people come together to celebrate the rebirth of life. And I want to ask you the importance of being together, because you mentioned that just by withdrawing from the outer world and focusing on what's within us, I always that's the way how we can change the world, by changing our what's inside and changing the energy we're giving out to the world. However, as a celebrations, as humans, we like to gather. We like to spend this time together. Do you, as a Druid, have that tradition as well of coming together and celebrating with more people, or is it just inside of the home with just the closest to your hearts?
No, it's a time, that we would have, we normally would have a ritual. Either we went online for a long time, and it didn't go away. Actually, I know even my order, the Order of Bards, Ovids, and Druids, last Saturday, have held an online druidic ceremony with the whole shebang, with the oak and the holly, and representing there. And so we get together, even in a virtual manner, but we also regularly at the Grove celebrate these things as a ceremony, be together, and have, and yeah, and like be with people, be with your family, of course, the ones you have around you, the animals around us, and where possible the people. And so, of course, we go out. Um, Actually, we are going out, and you will join me.
I
Can you
will
talk about
indeed.
it?
I'm looking forward, and I'm glad you mentioned this, because that's something I wanted to talk about as well. A fresh way of easing into that invitation. Okay, and maybe let's talk about what we're actually planning to do this Thursday.
Yeah, yeah. So first, this is the place where we're going. This is in southwest Cork. It's one of the most significant stone circles in Ireland, the Drumbeck Stone
Is it
Circle.
done? Yeah.
Drumbeck, yeah, yeah, Drumbeck Stone
Mhm.
Circle. You can find it on Google Maps, so you can drive there easily. The whole world has been there, so if you want to come, come. Um, I already know that there will be more people. I already know of another group having a celebration there. Our own Grove of Anu will be there with at least 4 people, but I guess a little bit more. But not everybody was sure, but I'm quite sure that there will be more. So there will be a gathering at the Drumbeck Stone Circle. And why the Drumbeck Stone Circle? Well, that's the Drumbeck Stone Circle is what completes what I would say the big winter solstice clock of Ireland, where we have Newgrange in the east, with sunrise, with the solar alignment on the sunrise, and the drumming on stone circle was discovered in 1923 by an archaeologist, that it's aligned to the sunset on the same day.
Wow.
So we go there, we celebrate the sunset, we celebrate the place. It's a place of celebration. It's well, it proves how important it was, that even not only for the sunset but also for the sunrise on the 21st of December, they built 2 big monuments, like what we now say 5 hours drive from each other, but it would have been many days walking at the time when they built them. It's nearly as old as Newgrange. So it's the combination of the two structures in Ireland on this day that make it so special, and that we know that it's in the blood, in the DNA of the country to celebrate this.
Yes. Julie from Creative Soul Tarot says, that place looks amazing. What an amazing place to celebrate the solstice. I am
Well,
actually very looking forward to that trip. Uh, Jan, perhaps I'm just gonna give away a secret now, but I know that Jan is taking his beautiful drum, the drum you already could see during our last show, and
yeah,
Jan will be doing some drumming over there. We invite anyone who would love to join us there, who would love to get back together in flesh, talk to us and celebrate
yeah, yeah.
with a bit of magic. We absolutely invite you to join us. We'll be there for sure.
Yeah, that's uh, I say it, and we hear from Sean, and Sean Clancy is very well known from the Hill of Oshnach, and he's watching this on Facebook. Such a powerful site to celebrate with community. Well, thank you, Sean. It is, it is. But Luna, what do you have? Do you have I know you have a lunar tradition. That's why your name comes from, and where your business name comes from, guided by Luna. So you work a lot with the moon, but do you work with the sun as well?
Absolutely. I actually operate with the wheel of the year as well. Operate, that may be not the best word, but I absolutely celebrate all the Sabbats, and those are the important parts for me because they correlate with cycles of nature.
Hmm.
Uh, and I actually, within my practice, I combine Christmas and winter solstice. So I have this long period of celebrating. However, Christmas for me is maybe not in that traditional way of celebrating. However, for me, Christmas is celebrating rebirth of the light. Some say that the Christ is basically the energy of light. And because he was born on the 25th, I celebrate this as a rebirth of and a rebirth of the sun, and the days from that moment will get longer and longer. And that's my favorite time of the year, when we actually start to notice those little differences. Soon the birds will start to sing, and the nature will wake up. But before that happens, it's good to just, as you said before, take a step back and have a little break and just be with ourselves. And for me, I prefer, you know, Jan, that I'm a ritual girl. For me, rituals is what I base my spiritual practices on. And I love to prepare, like you said, you prepare an altar. I prepare always an addition to my altar where I use salt and herbs, use as a kind of like a little spell work, because I create a bowl based on salt, which is for the protection. I bring oranges for prosperity. I bring rosemary for healing properties as well as protection as well. Cloves, rose petals for love. Perhaps while I'm talking about it right now, I came to an idea that perhaps next time I'll be doing it in a couple of days. I'll just switch my camera on and I'll post it here on the channels for people who would love to join into that tradition of creating and bringing some extra magic into this world, into this year's celebration. So perhaps I'll share step by step uh, how to create something which I call a Yule bowl, which is kind of like a bowl created specially for time, and always on top goes a candle. And like yourself, this candle has a very deep meaning. In order the light is being restored and it's coming. So yeah, I'm actually excited to share that ritual with those who are watching us. And another ritual I actually love to do and start on Christmas is the kind of it's called 13 magic nights. I'll start with this. Why 13 magic nights? Because as you mentioned before, there is a 13 moon kind of cycles. And I love this tradition, and I love this ritual. Some people celebrate it if that's within their practice. Some people can do it start on the winter solstice and continue for the next 12 days. If people want to do it during Christmas, it's absolutely fine. As long as it takes 13 days, that's all what matters. The ritual is manifesting. It's important to sit for a moment, to the energy and meditate a little bit and ask ourselves what is that we would love to bring in during the next upcoming year. Think of 13 things you would like to make happen, you would like to manifest during the upcoming time. It's important to write them down on small pieces of papers, and every single piece of paper needs to be folded and then put and stored in a jar. We can prepare it even a couple of days before when the actual ritual starts. I do it usually a day before Christmas because I start the ritual on Christmas. And with those 13 little pieces of paper, every day, every evening, I pull one piece of paper without looking at it and I just burn it. And I continue to do that every single day. What is within my practice, and that's not necessary to perform this ritual. However, on the day when I'm burning, I also pull a tarot card with the energy for that particular part. So what those little papers represents is actually months. We have 12 months within the year. So we do it and we burn a piece of paper every day for the next 12 days. And I pour a tarot card for every upcoming month just to have a little overlook of what's going to happen, what kind of energy I can expect. On the 13th day, we have only one piece of paper left. With this piece of paper, we don't burn it. With this one, we can actually read what it says on it. I forgot to mention, perhaps it would be good to mention it earlier, that it's important to not to read those little piece of papers which we put in fire. On the 13th day, we actually get to read what's left. Why is it important? Because those 12 pieces of papers we burned, those are our wishes, which the universe will help us to manifest. Those are the ones we don't have to worry about anymore. The universe will help us to bring it. However, the 13th one is the most important because this is the one which actually we personally are responsible for bringing it into our lives. I love this ritual. It's important to write down those wishes because after a year you can forget. Last year I didn't write down my wishes, so I can't see which one actually manifested and which hasn't. But I'm pretty sure that many of those actually manifested within my life. And the one I remember, the one which was left in my hand, and this one didn't manifest because I didn't take proper steps to make it. Yes, it's very important that the power with the last one is within our hands. Obviously, it's good to remember that those things we want to manifest have to be the things we can handle. We can actually make happen. Because if we're gonna want something abstract, then the universe may not bring it to us if it's not within our highest good. However, if you want some support from the universe in achieving some goals, that's the ritual I absolutely recommend. Perhaps preparing mine, I'll also use a camera and just post it here for those who would be interested in following it.
That's brilliant. Yeah. Well, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to think I'm going to write down my wishes and and burn them one by one and keep the last one to manifest. I have a small addition to what I said earlier. That on the website of my Druid Grove, the Grove of Anu, when you sign up as a friend, you will get a free course of doing solo rituals for the Wheel of the Year. So there is a Druidic solo ritual there. So sign up. I'll type the type the the website. Hang on.
Yeah, I'm going to make sure that it's going to be in the description box as well. I think it's a fabulous idea, and thank you for sharing that.
groveofanu.com. That's the website. Sign up as a friend, and you'll get a free course doing um, doing this ritual, solo ritual. Well, what's happening here? Oh, a reaction. Love the sound of that ritual and your explanation. So inspiring and full of practical advice and the connection to the universe. Well, lovely.
Beautiful
Brilliant.
comment. Thank you for that, Sean.
Yeah. Okay. This comment seems to be stuck like right now. I'm gonna hide it. Yep, that's better. um, what do we think, Luna? Should we do some card readings?
Yeah, you read my mind.
It's time. You know, we're past halfway, and I have my thought deck here, and I have an extra camera on the table.
Lovely. Oh, that looks amazing.
Yeah, with the energy of the Vecvizier and my mousey. And I'm gonna shuffle the cards now. And
Oh,
let's do a full
that
reading.
sound of cards shuffle.
Yeah, let's do a full reading. I'll put the cards here. I've been thinking about what should the reading be about today, and we're all looking forward to a new year, and we're all looking forward to a year with with less problems. Where there's two major wars going on in our direct atmosphere. There's of course big things. Big things happening with climate change and everything. So there's a lot going on in our lives, and so I would like to do a reading that everybody could relate to. So that's the importance of it, and find happiness and inner peace. Find happiness and inner peace in a time of war, in a time of all kinds of environmental challenges, uh, even in a time of political unrest between people, with hotels burning when they're earmarked for refugees and stuff like that. So all kinds of crazy things going on. What can we do to improve our lives? So I'll do 5 cards. This card is the card representing the situation. This is the challenge or the obstacle. This card represents the subconscious influences. This card represents the past. And this card represents the outcome. So the first card we pulled is the Princess of Swords. The Prince of Swords, a youthful energy, going for truth, going for understanding. She's full of ideas and communication. She defends her castle, and you can even see that she's in a situation with smoke and fires and unrest, and she's defending her castle. She seeks for knowledge. She seeks for the truth. She seeks to find understanding the situation between her and the other people. So it doesn't necessarily point to struggle, but more to a state of intellectual activity, communication. Um, it's a person who is observant, analytical, and critical and sharp in their thinking. So that's the Princess of Swords. That's where we are, and the energy of the Princess of Swords. And it's quite to the point for the reading, because it's a situation of how do I tell what's playing within me? How do I tell what's playing in my life? The second card is the Three of Cups, abundance, and should represent a challenge. The abundance card is generally a very positive card. It's about celebrating life, celebrating friendship, celebrating the winter solstice and Christmas and New Year's Eve and New Year, all these things. And why is it in this position as an obstacle and as a challenge? So here it says, when we think about what we think about, all the challenges, all the situations in our lives, uh, should we then not also, um, like I said earlier, be a bit more of a hermit, and don't get carried away on social media, don't get carried away on the festivities. Feast, be abundant with each other, but be mindful about the world we live in, and understand that what we have and what you have is not um, is not for it's not available for everybody. There are people suffering there, so balance it out a little. And like I said earlier, take good care of yourself, because when you take good care of yourself, you can take good care of others as well. So that's it's not saying you shouldn't do celebrate, you shouldn't go there, but just be mindful about what you celebrate. Your Don't distract your inner journey from your social and social aspects. The next card, the third card, that's the subconscious influences, and this is a weird card in this position. It's the card is called strife, so it talks about competition, fights, Mercury retrograde with Christmas, when, like we said last week, people having falling out to each other in on the dining table at Christmas, and then the energy of the Princess of Swords, who who goes for the truth, and the truth will come out. The card also asks for, okay, where it's because it's a subconscious influence. Um, what do you bring yourself to the situation? What are you bringing um, to the Christmas table, and what are you bringing to um, this thing? So you should acknowledge what's playing there within you. You should acknowledge that not everything is always as you hope that it is, but try to understand it. Try to grasp what is playing there and why it is playing. um, Mercury retrograde, which is playing right now. So when you talk, talk honestly and talk clearly, uh, but also be flexible. Don't always try to win, because this is a card. The card of strife is actually is about is a lot of times is about winning, but um, when you're always when you want to win every conflict with every person, uh, in the end you'll end up alone. Nobody will listen to you anymore. You lose all your friends. Winning uh, can sometimes be losing if you take it too far. So focus on common goals. Focus on what do we have together. Where can I find how can I keep this friendship alive? How do I keep the family together? And yeah, when necessary, see guidance. See guidance. From the past comes the hangman. talks about sacrifices, the sacrifice you made, the sacrifice um, that's in your life because things are not always playing out the way you want it to. Um, but it also, and that's always a very nice thing of the hangman, you can turn it around, change perspective. And um, the hangman, of course, again points back to Odin, the god, the father god of the Vikings, who hung himself from the tree of life for a number of days and nights, dying every night and being reborn every morning, as long, just so long until he got the wisdom of the runes. So the runes came to him when he was hanging and changed his perspective. So go for wisdom, uh, change the way you look at things, use your inner wisdom, use your inner guidance uh, to attain spiritual growth, to grow, and uh, be patient. Don't rush it. That's what the hangman says. Be patient. And then the outcome. And the outcome card, that's a card I pick every day in every reading. Like it's like the star, but then even better. Or it's like the ten of discs, even better. Uh, the outcome is when you go through the process and when you end the year. The universe is also is an end card. It's the last card in the tarot in the major arcana. So there's no card after it. The only card that comes after it is the Fool, card number 0. So it's an end card and a begin card, but it points to fulfillment and wholeness, completion, completion of a cycle. Obviously, we completed a cycle around the sun again, so that's very to the point. um, Integration of lessons. So we learned a lot, we gained a lot, we integrate that, integrate the wisdom, and go from there. Global consciousness. So manifesting, knowing, uh, doing stuff together. And global consciousness is what we need. Working together on a global scale to fix all the problems that are facing us, like wars, like uh, politics, like division between uh, groups of humans. We have to outgrow that. And the universe card says we're on our way. We're working towards it. And when you can integrate the message in these cards in your life, uh, you'll be a happy person in the end, because that's what the universe card says. It integrates wholeness, completion, happy person in the new year that is to come. Likewise, Luna, I'll post maybe a longer version of this reading on our YouTube channel on the 21st. So come back
Yeah,
for a longer and more extensive reading. Oop,
that
and we're
would be
back again.
absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for this wonderful reading. I am stunned with what came through. Uh, one, because it was a very powerful reading. I love the way how you interpret cards. Second of all, while you were shuffling your cards, I shuffled mine, and I have oracles just in front of me. And I'm just lacking words because the messages are very, very similar. Uh, would you like to add to your reading before I go with mine? But this is very interesting what happened here on the table today.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, the conclusion is use this the extra time we get. We're all working hard all through the year, but use the time we have to come to a closure, to finish the unfinished business inside, but also unfinished business with people surrounding you. Maybe you have an old friend that's coming back, or a family member that hasn't been calling for a long while, or there's something playing. uh, Look at it, look at your look at yourself, look at your own role in what has been playing there and the things you can do. Especially also look at the things that are outside of your influence, because the things outside of your influence, uh, it's okay to know them. It's not okay to feel miserable about them. It's
Thank you.
You understand? That's so it makes sense, doesn't it?
It does. It's very uncommon that I just lack words, and because I have nothing else to say because it was so deep and there is no more to say actually. Thank you. That's very powerful, and the message you brought is, I think, what we all need to hear.
Okay. Can you show us your cards?
Yes, well, I will read them in the order they came out. What is funny, I pulled 5 cards just like you, so I had
Oh,
a big smile on my face already. But then another card just flipped around and it came out first, and I'll get to it in a second. So the first card I got, and I'm using the Earth Wisdom Oracle, which is very, very Celtic oracle, and I love to read cards. Um, for I love to use this deck particularly for winter, excuse me, summer solstice. And the first card I got, it's the transformation. I hope you can read the text. Is the number 16. But what I'm really drawn to, uh, this card, it's 2, like the light which is within the shade, it's in the distance, which allows her to see a different light. And for me, color purple represents spirituality, represents connection with the divine, connection with the higher realm. And right now, it's going to be a time for transformation. Something within us wants to change, wants to perhaps be even reborn. Maybe something new wants to come into our energy field. But this transformation will bring clarity. And it's interesting because you mentioned working together, coming together and working as a team. And what is really interesting, they all, if camera will pick on that, but they all hold the same rock, the same purple kind of inner wisdom, I would call it. That's how I see it. And they cooperate with each other, bringing more light into the world. They co-create together something in order to build a beautiful and more strong connection with each other. The next card which I got was the Blessed Sight, which is a beautiful, beautiful card. And this girl here, she actually has her eyes closed, which brings me to 2 things with the message coming through this card. Well, first message is that some of us needs to go within, some of us needs to turn into perhaps inner guidance, inner world, but also it's a reminder of being present as well and being within the energy of now. She is walking towards something. She's leaving something behind her here. Those are beautiful flowers. But the way I see this walking and leaving something behind is that just like you mentioned, perhaps there's somebody in your life which you weren't getting along for you weren't getting along for a period of time. And Christmas time, it's such a magical time of forgiveness, of magic happening. So perhaps it would be good if we could just leave what's unnecessary behind us and just move forward and start fresh and renew, because together we are stronger. Together we can take more. And it's very important to take responsibility for our action, for our part of co-creating this universe, this reality, this present moment. I'm also drawn here to the circle in behind, which indicates to me that life indeed is a circle. And perhaps in these periods of winter solstice and Christmas, we will get more clarity. Where is the card clarity here? Perhaps some things will be easier to understand for us. Perhaps if we take responsibility towards certain actions, towards things we didn't want to look at before, things will become more clear. We will gain more wisdom, more understanding of the situation, and it'll be easier for us to move forward. However, it's very important to set proper boundaries and keep them. It's important to have some self-respect, but also respect to others. And the way I see this card is this man here, he is just smiling, he's waiting, he is in a present moment. I'm trying to make my camera focus a little bit, but it's not cooperating. It's better now. He is just waiting. He surrounded himself with some boundaries. So he knows that if he's gonna hold his, everything will work out and the light will be shining here. And the reason I'm talking about the light is this is the last card which came apart from me pulling them, which came in reverse, which is very, very interesting. And for me, that's a clear message. If we want hold some healthy boundaries, if we want to take responsibility for our actions, there won't be transformation, there won't be this clarity coming, and we'll be just going through the life with eyes closed, just like she is. And what is important, to open our hearts, just like the sun coming through the chambers of Newgrange, or something which looks more like a Stonehenge on this card, and allow the light to come in and create this transformation. I'm just looking at the card if there is any other message I'm seeing. I'm really onto this harp here, which is a Irish symbol, which is an extra message for me. If you're free on Facebook, join us on Drumback. You'll be fine. You'll be super fine.
The card shows an alignment, shows a solar alignment. So it's the alignment, and of course Stonehenge is the summer solstice site, but it's a solstice alignment, and show up Thursday. Exactly. And even and for people in the Killarney area, there would be a walk Saturday to the Paps of Anu. So that's also a winter solstice thing, and that will be at sunrise again. So that's early, 6:45 at Gary's Bridge, Glenflesk, Killarney.
And you won't believe, I asked for an advice on how to achieve this fulfillment, what we need to surrender in order to move through that process with ease.
Yeah.
And just when you were talking about walking Killarney, surrender to the beauty of the natural world. Take a relaxing break and spend time in nature. Replenish yourself by feeling the beauty and the ecstasy there. Which is just exactly what we've been talking about today for the entire time, is to connect with ourselves. We're part of nature. But what is also important is to surrender procrastination. In order to have this leap, in order to move forward and flip just like a hanged man, we need to take action, divinely guided action. And it says, now is the time to jump on a goal it off. So there is a message for somebody clearly watching here. If you've been thinking about doing something and making this happen, it's the time. Don't be afraid. The universe will back it up, and you will be supported with this light here, with this reborning, uh, which is coming back to its power again.
Wow, powerful, powerful. Yeah, well, what struck me there was that very much what came in my reading was the Mercury aspect of communicating your boundaries, communicating what you want, communicating what you want to manifest. It's also so extremely important. Yeah.
Clarity, yes, transformation. uh, in order to be seen by the universe, we need to connect with it. We need to talk to it in order to be seen by other people. The rule is the same. We just need to speak up and tell our truth, uh, even if it's not audible. But that's the divine truth, the divine light we share within us. And for me, authenticity is very important. Exactly
The
the
Princess of Swords is a messenger of the truth. He's the defender of the truth. Even that's
Exactly. I love the
that's
image on this card because it actually, you can see that she's defending. She sets and she holds her boundaries very properly, and it takes
hold
to the
space.
image of the sword
Exactly, exactly.
here.
And it's the youthfulness, and it's a beginning card. It's a card of new beginnings, like the universe card is, of course, the card of completion and of ending. But an ending is always a new beginning after this card. Even in the old Messiah decks, they even put the card 0, the full, after card 21. In the modern decks, you always, when you open the pack, you always get the full first. In the old decks, they put the full after card 22, 21.
That is very interesting. I actually happened
Yeah,
to open a new deck which was gifted to me by my beautiful soul sister. Thank you very much. And that was the full card, was actually the first one as well.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. And it should be the magus. It should be the magician. Yeah, that's the first thing, the full finish, for the full visits. But okay, that's for another time. We can discuss how these cards are packed up. I whatever what you might do next time is share the deck with us.
oh, I will.
You've
I
got,
will.
yeah. I have one deck on, I ordered on Kickstarter, that will be coming also in the next month, and I will unwrap it in front of the camera
Mm.
on my show. Yeah, and from now on, all the new
Oh,
decks are coming in.
oh yes.
Share the idea, share what's there, and share the beauty. It's yeah, that's it.
Mm. Jan, believe it or not, it's been an hour.
We've been there, huh? Yeah, we did it again, Luna,
I love
and
those Monday
we
evenings. It's such a beautiful part of my day, of my week, of my. Thank you, Jan, for
oh
uh,
yeah,
sitting here with me and sharing the
well,
knowledge and sharing your beauty.
we do it together. It wouldn't be as much fun if I had to do it on my own. It's it's like I said, doing it together, working together, and not being in competition. Well, when we met, we said, "Are we competitors?" And what was I said? I don't think so. I don't think so. We're we're colleagues. We're colleagues, and we're becoming friends, and we are friends, and yeah, and I love it. So this brings show number 5 already to an end.
5 changes. Wow.
Okay, yeah, 5 to
Transformation.
an end. Transformation. And yeah, let's say many more to follow. when you're still watching, subscribe, like, press the notification bell so you'll be alerted to our next shows. When you're not on YouTube, um, like or subscribe where you are.
It helps
um,
our channel to grow and more people.
we can the channel grow the channel, reach more people, build a community of like-minded people, and
Share more magic.
share more magic. That's it. So we'll see us again in a week's time, Monday at 8. And thank you for watching Luna and the Druid. And happy solstice.
Happy solstice. I'm sending lots of light and love.
Light and love. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Thank you for joining.